It is interesting. As you asked that question, he's talking about this. I'm like thinking back to like all of the in-person podcasts that we have done. And sometimes, like today, we meet a player where his team is staying. We buy a room, spend our money, all
It's
that
expensive
stuff.
room,
For a lot of
man.
money.
And like sometimes like there'll be, I remember one time we did it with Joe Ingles and they had the Jazz digital media staff there. Like, I'm not talking about that, but when I think about the interviews we've done with the least amount of people in the room, like there's nobody in the room right now.
Yeah.
It's just Dame. Steph was one. Steph hit his bodyguard. I get it. Steph had one person in the room. And then other times we've had
29. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, we've done one with a young guy where there's 9 people in the room sitting right there, all standing right there. Listen. And it's just interesting to me. And I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't actually think there's anything wrong with that. I don't. The cultural shift of players coming in now. You guys have both touched on this. Austin Rivers talked about this, the mixtapes at a young age. You said entitlement. I don't think that's far off. I think it can be harsh if you generalize that about an entire group of players, but certainly I've had younger teammates as I finished up that I saw a little of that sense entitlement.
It's common, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and this is an example I'll give you. We lose last night, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we lose. Obviously, you come back the next day, you don't want to come out and be like, okay, we're gonna have practice. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we not, on our team, it's almost like we got practice tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And this is not me knocking my teammates because we had a really like a hard, real practice. You know what I'm saying? But like our team is like, they're on a team with me. So we talk about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, look, this the way it is, like this the way it goes sometimes. And they'll accept it. But when you don't have somebody on your team that's letting you know how it should be and they respect you enough because they see your real behavior, just imagine like what's really happening. There's so many teams out there that don't have it. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably really getting up like, why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we be practicing? I've seen interviews from young players where they'll ask and it's like, what if you guys had, practice the day after a back-to-back? And I've literally seen interviews where they're like, I ain't going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going. And I was thinking about it and I was like, if we had a back-to-back, you never have practice the day after after a back-to-back. That's hard. I don't think that's ever happened. But if it did happen, you say a time, I would just be like, all right, like, obviously we probably not come in here and start scrimmaging, but like, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? So like to have that type of mentality, that's like an example of what the mentality is. It's just like.
But this is where I say, and Nate has touched on this in regards to load management. It's not necessarily, that part of it to me is not necessarily just on the players because they entered the NBA at a time when there were cultural shifts around practice. Like we had knee pads and taped ankles for an hour and a half shoot-arounds for 5 years with Stan Van Gundy. So that's what I came into the NBA with. These guys are not getting that same experience. And so they're not experiencing it well. To me, this is maybe I'm an old man, but to me, the bigger issue is this is not a generalization on an entire group of young players. It's not. I think the bigger issue becomes something you kind of touched on when you talked about your love of the game. The bigger issue becomes, do you love basketball more or do you love the things that basketball gives you more? And that's where I think we run into problems when players are on that fall into that second slot where they love what basketball gives them and they're entering the culture they're in right now. Right. We don't have the vets. There's a de-emphasis on vets. and the organizations have shifted a little bit of accountability, that's where we start running into problems. That to me is the issue.
No, I agree. And that's why I'm always like, I always talk about the people I came into the league and played with, because I know that is needed. You know, you need vets in the locker room. You know, it's not by mistake Udonis Haslem is in Miami and he never plays. Like, I don't think he's played like seriously in like 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's got into a game here and
you
there.
know what I'm saying? Like, but it's known though. Yeah. You know, it's known like he got a presence with these dudes. Like, what he say means something, and he knows what to say, and he knows what they need to know. So like, I feel like it should be somebody like that, or maybe 2 players like that in every locker room, because like you said, like they didn't come into a culture where like they was learning to move on the same principle. So they just won't know. So I feel like it's just necessary.
I wanted to ask
for the sake of the league, though,
yeah.
just so the league doesn't just start to, you know, just look too much like entertainment. Like you want it to be like about the game, and like for people to watch it and be like, man, them dudes care. You know what I'm saying? Like they fighting for it. Like I think about, what was it, the finals in 2010, Boston and LA, where it was like, it's really them against them. Like, it felt like it was just them against them and everybody else was watching. It didn't look like, oh, he's had a triple-double in every game in the finals. And when this guy does this is what it, like, it's like, bro, just let him, just play. Like, this team against that team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going away from being that simple. You know what I'm saying? It feels much more like entertainment and politics than like the game.
We hope you had fun with us today. We hope you laughed. We hope you had fun with us today. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button.